Jim's calling. Put him on speaker.
I'll call him back in a minute.
Oh, put him on speaker.
All right.
Yeah, put him on speaker.
Put him on speaker.
Way more fun.
Hey, Jim, you're on speaker with Charlie and the DC Project Gals.
I love that band.
Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we start this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie, if you are tuning in and watching the show on the YouTube, please hit the notification bell and subscribe to the podcast. Certainly, we appreciate that you guys are watching, but you please need to do that because that's good for all things YouTube. Thank you for watching. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding.
Okay.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know the name of his show.
Take two.
All right, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Today we are in the home state and the hometown of Massachusetts. We're in Boston. We have a lot of the DC Project Gals. We got somebody from the Gun Owners Action League. We're going to have everyone sound off because it's easier. First we have
Kerrie Ann Auclair.
We have Kerrie Ann Auclair.
Mike Harris.
Mike Harris. He's not a gold girl. Wait, he is a gold girl. He's a gold guy, not a DC Project guy. Damn it. Next.
Amanda Suffecool.
Holly Sullivan.
All right, and in the way back,
Moe Palmer.
Moe Palmer.
Bonnie Marshall.
And Bonnie Marshall. So we're going to drive around Boston. We're going to get some selfies. We're going to have a good time. We've already been out and about, and it's only mildly crazy.
I gave stickers to two guys in hard hats.
First things first, we're banging a Yui, kid.
Banging a Yui.
Welcome to Boston, banging a Yui.
You did a good job hanging one. I like
That's right. That's right. All right, so we are all gathered here because we just had an event with the Gun Owners Action League. There were 260-ish people at this event yesterday.
Yep.
We had 260 people at the 2A Freedom Celebration, which was really cool, which is one of the things that we're doing here in Massachusetts to push back on the tantrum that the tyrants are throwing because of the Bruin decision and all of the all the nonsense. It's all the anti-gun stuff that we talk about. It was in one bill and put together. So
It's a wish list.
oh God, it's a wish list. It's a witch hunt.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
All
so
created from the listening tours. Started, February 9th, ended June 2nd. The bill came out June 25th.
The original witch hunts did happen like 40 miles north of here, so.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's so true. Right. And what did the witch hunt prove? Let's see. If we're gonna tie this woman up to a rock, we're gonna throw her in the water.
Yeah.
If she dies, she wasn't a witch. If she lives, she is a witch, and we'll kill her.
If he dies, we just go, oh yeah, sorry. Right, that's sort of where they're going with this.
On their first try, government is always wrong.
Boom.
Right?
Boom. Boom.
What is Laura Carno's book about the government always?
Laura Carno's book,
Yeah.
The Government Ruins Nearly
Government ruins
Everything.
nearly
That's true.
everything.
Yeah.
Nearly everything. Laura Carno's going to be a passenger on the shows, so you need to tune in for that as well. I got to go hang out with Laura Carno a month or so ago in Colorado. She's good people.
That's awesome.
So what else? What did everyone enjoy about this? So this is the first time. So Amanda and I have been friends for a long time, and we travel around the country and do all these sorts of things.
We're not a couple.
Right.
In case anybody was
In
wrong.
case we just need clarity's sake. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Right. She's happily married, and I'm undateable.
Ungovernable, undateable. There's a lot of uns.
All the uns. But this is the first time Mike has been to Gun Rights Policy Conference, but for Moe, for Bonnie, and Holly, of course, has been to everything as well. But this is the first time. She really is. Yeah. But this is the first time some of you guys have gotten together for one of these family celebrations that we have. What'd you guys think?
Loved it.
Yeah?
Good time.
Garet did such a great job with the video.
Oh man, he did awesome.
Yep, great
Yes,
job.
Garet Holcomb from he's the
President of Goal.
president of the
President
gun
of the-
owners actually.
Yeah, on the board. Yep. And
I really liked where he did that analogy between Braveheart and William Wallace
Okay.
and James Wallace and,
Yeah.
Right.
and Photoshop and all of a sudden
put the blue lightning bolt on Jim's face.
Oh
So
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Jim keeps a 5-foot long claymore sword in his office
Okay.
that he used to bring with him on planes to go do speeches at NRA conventions and NRA stuff. So he used to bring it up and raise it above his head and wake everybody up in the room. So it's still sitting
So
there. It's
funny.
it's intimidating and it's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And the speakers were amazing.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, they were real good. Who
We had Amanda. We had
Amanda
Holly.
spoke, Holly
Yeah.
spoke,
I
you spoke, Patrick Collins from the Gun
From the
Food.
gun
Yep.
food.
Jared.
Jared Yanis from Guns and Gadgets spoke, and then we had videos from
Charlie Cook. from
Petrolini. Did you hear when they introduced him as
Oh my
Petrolini?
God, that
Yeah.
was so
It was
funny.
dying.
Petrolini. Kerrie Ann never gets it
Poor
right.
John.
Yes, there was a video from John Petrolino. There was a video from Cam Edwards.
Petrolino.
Nikki Goeser.
Nikki
Yeah.
Goeser. Yeah,
Nikki.
Nikki put a video in.
Yep.
And
Klint Macro. Did
Yeah,
you say him
Klint.
already?
Cam Edwards.
Yeah,
right.
Cam.
How do we forget Cam?
I know, right?
He was the piece de resistance.
Yeah.
He was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then,
Toby Leary, who
Toby
who
Leary.
burnt the house down.
Oh my
Two
God.
standing ovations. Did
Two
you see
standing
that?
ovations.
And
for
Based Toby.
Because he said what?
I will
will
get
not
arrested in
comply.
I
my
will
show.
not comply.
Well, the
All that.
good news is even YouTube doesn't watch my show,
Yeah.
so no one's going to find out that Toby's willing to
Go to jail.
go the extra mile.
That's
Yeah.
a good way of putting it.
Right.
Let's just leave it
Go
at
the
that.
green mile.
Go the-
Go the
Oh.
green mile.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Let's
that
hope
was
not. That's
that was really
a death
cool.
row thing.
Food was great.
The food was
Yeah,
good.
food
Yep.
was good.
The food was
Company
awesome.
was awesome.
That was all Angie.
Being-
Angie
She did good.
picked out
Angie
the menu.
Fisher from the
Yes.
Owners actually. Yes.
Yep. And she got some flowers. For
Yeah.
her
She
hard
got some
work.
flowers for her
She
hard
got
work. She got
recognized.
some gift certificates, which was
mad.
She was mad.
Not mad. She was just like, all this attention. I just want to
Right.
sink
Crawl
into the
into
ground.
it.
Yeah.
I just
And
want to
the
be in the
reason that we
background.
had it in Quincy is because
Yeah.
that's where the Speaker of the House,
Yes,
Ron
that's another one.
Mariano,
Yes,
lives
so we
in
because
Rochester.
everybody was wondering why did we do
Why
the
did we do it in
event
Quincy?
in Quincy? Because Mariano lives in Quincy.
That's the Speaker's
Right.
District.
Right.
Our
And
Mariano's
I
Speaker of the
have
House
to tell you
representative.
that at the end, Jim really knocked it out of the park though.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had a speech. He had a message, and we need more help. So we need more GOAL members to jump on and more people to actually join GOAL. Because
That'd be
there's what,
nice.
600,000 gun owners?
Six.
Yeah, 600,000 gun owners in Massachusetts. There's 7 million people. So, we're a small percentage. But out of those 600,000, only 20,000 are members of GOAL. But
Right.
that
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean that you're not
Shit.
active in the fight. But,
I thought it was going to go
It's
right
one of
there.
those
Oh,
things.
Here we are, downtown crossing, kid. It's a bunch of one-way streets and
It's
all go
JJ
into each other.
Foley's. The famous JJ Foley.
One-way streets all going in the wrong direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, some more hard hats.
Oh, get him.
Throw a sticker at him.
Only if they're close.
Right.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
if they're close and we're stopped.
No. Oh,
There you go.
hey, I got stickers for your hard hats. What you got? I got some stuff. You gotta check it out.
Got the stuff.
HD4420. Say no. Tell your legislators. Check it out. Woo!
Right.
Gonna need those guns someday.
That's right.
Right. They might need them to protect themselves from Kerrie Ann. And I thought I was stranger danger. Holy crap, this girl's barking at
Yeah,
you.
but he's like, what you got? What you got?
I did not get it. I tried. I tried. Next one.
Oh my
A
god.
Boston construction worker.
Uh-oh.
Right.
You can't fit through
I
here.
can totally
Oh,
I
there
might
goes
even
my
slow
mirrors.
Oh,
They call him
please.
Thread the Needle
You
Charlie.
got one on each side, you're flying.
Nice.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
That's why they gave you
Where
two.
are we?
right.
This is like a maze.
Oh, look, now we're in
Chinatown.
Chinatown, kids.
Are we
This
about
is
to-
Chinatown?
Wait, are we driving up like
Oh yeah,
A
look at the
parking ramp?
signage. There's the first
Well,
one.
I thought that as well, but no.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ?
Sometimes though, look at how close these cars are. How do they get in and out?
That is a
Very
good
careful.
question.
That's why I
They
don't
just
drive
push
a
each
lot.
other forward.
Well, in Europe, that's how they do that.
They do
The
bomb.
front guy and the back guy.
What's taking this guy so long?
That's what I
He's
call
got a
the
stop
bumper.
sign, not a stop light. Come on, pal.
Now it's going to turn green.
You know what's taking him so long? Safety.
Oh,
What
right.
has he got on top of his car, by the way? What is all that?
Spinning.
It's an Eversource driver. He's got the gas sniffers on it.
What?
Yeah,
Those
that's,
guys, you see these little things hanging?
Yep.
Oh, there he doesn't have them.
Yeah.
They have those little thingies that hang down and they sniff out gas.
To make
They
sure
do?
that
Yeah.
there's not a gas leak
Yeah,
somewhere.
they're driving over the thing. Yeah, that's what those little coils are for.
Oh, I didn't
Little
know
coils.
that.
Gas
I learn
sniffers.
The
something
gas
every
sniffers.
day.
The gas sniffers.
My God. So that's a sampling of Boston roads, guys.
Right? Yeah. We're
See,
gonna
dude, this is gonna be like on the video. Everybody's like,
bouncing around. It's like that.
Think-
It's like that movie from Ace Ventura, right?
I'm just grateful they got rid of all the fucking cobblestones. Sorry, the cobblestones.
I'm
sorry.
If it's a direct quote, we can leave it in.
I'm sorry.
And I think that it's very descriptive
Mike
of
Harris.
cobblestones.
Also, I'm from here. Cursing is like punctuation.
Yeah, but the funny part is I didn't even hear you say it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's like a
It was just,
comma.
like all blended into one. It's like a comma.
It really is.
It's a placeholder for the real words you want to say.
That would be worse.
It's used for emphasis.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry, bud.
All right, so Holly came up from Connecticut.
Yeah. A much more civilized place.
Civilized
Oh
Connecticut.
shit! Now we're
Hatford,
getting
dude.
on the highway.
No, Charlie.
No, we won't be on long. We'll get off.
Okay, now we're going into the darkness.
Going
Going in
into
the tunnel. The tunnel.
You know what one it's not? It's not the Sumner, because that one's closed.
That one's closed. The Sumner's closed for the summer.
And if you look, see the brown stripes? That means we're underground. If they were blue stripes, we'd be underwater.
Really?
Is that real?
Is that what that means?
I didn't know that.
Oh my
I knew
God.
one of them was underwater.
See,
and
when
I've
you go
never
underwater, that
one.
freaks me out. I'm like, I'm
Well,
going to drown.
if you go underground,
I'm
it
going
also
to
freaks me
die.
out.
I'm going to drown.
See, I live underground, so underground doesn't bother me.
Oh, see, I just think about the fact that there's heavy stuff up there either way.
Right.
That is true.
I remember a long time ago, it was right before.
Oh, it's going to turn blue.
Possibly.
I asked a friend of mine, I'm like, how long has Boston been under construction? She's like, since 1776.
Yeah. Well, dude, remember when the roof panel fell on that lady's car?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
They were using like Elmer's glue to
Yeah,
like
they
put
were.
those things up there.
Right.
Yeah, she
I gotta
died,
tell you,
right?
Yeah.
Of course she died. Look how big those are.
Some concrete panel falls on her
Oh
car.
my gosh.
Oh my God. All
She
right.
didn't die. She'd have a rough life.
Right.
Yes.
Let's get on Star Drive, kids.
Yay.
Oh my dear God.
Let's do it.
See, Kerrie Ann is not going to have a hard time at all giving up the front seat in the next switch. She's like, I'm going for the back now so that I can be hidden.
I'm staying back there. Sorry.
I always tell people who are nervous about driving into the city, I'm like, just pretend that the lane lines don't exist and point your car where you want to go. People will get out of your way. It's just how it works.
It's how it works. I'm going that way.
30 years
I'm
ago,
going that
30
way.
years ago, I was driving in Boston. I came to Boston with this guy from Baltimore, and I'm driving. I don't know why he picked that I would drive, but okay.
So 30 years ago, you were on the Central Artery. These didn't exist.
And it was all under construction.
And
Yeah.
we were headed into the Callahan Tunnel. I
thing.
remember that. So there was like 6 lanes headed into 1 lane, right? And I'm trying to get there, and I turn on the turn signal. He's like, no, don't do that. Turn signals are a sign of weakness.
Right.
Oh
They
my
will not let
They
you.
are. Snake pit.
Are you kidding?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he was sure. So he's like, we have a rental car and it has insurance, and I'm not afraid to use it. So-
Skippy. Denser badges of honor in the city of city of Boston.
All right. So
It
we're
means you survived.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
Oh, come on.
Oh no, this is a bad. Hit your brakes like 5,000 times so you don't get hit from behind.
Well, I'm glad the brakes are working.
She's got brakes.
You know who I have no respect for? The people who stop short and put their hazards on while they're driving. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you
you sissy.
pansy.
Why do they do that? I've never. What?
They're like,
Because-
warning, I'm
see?
driving slow.
That's because you're.
Did you let
It's
it-
because
Did you
Kerrie,
let-
it's because you got guts that you don't know. You didn't even know that was a thing. I respect that
That's a
about
thing.
you.
Fine.
Well, I'm so
All right.
glad that I'm
We're
respected.
driving in
Should we get
inclement
off at
weather.
Government Center or get on Stora?
I don't know where you're going.
No, neither does he.
All right, you know what? We're going to stop. We're going to make our first little pitch stop.
You go up towards Harvard.
We're not going to have it.
Okay.
Uh,
we won't get off by the Salt and Pepper Bridge. We'll get off in the back bay.
Good, because
And,
you can't go over it because it's closed for
Oh, that's
construction.
right. Shocking.
If you were a green line train, you could go over it.
This person's from Vermont.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't follow them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, we're gonna make our first little pit stop. We're gonna we
Just looking at him like, what?
Stop HD 4420.
All right, we're almost to Cambridge. You're gonna offend people, Kerrie Ann.
Right.
Stop.
Well, the good news.
Now I know why Kerrie Ann's husband said, I don't need to be in the car. I understand so much more
That's
now.
all he
He's
can
taking a
stand. He
break.
can't
He
stand
said
it.
so much more.
He's exhausted from spending so much time with me for the past 2 months on the couch.
There's a spot where I met her for better or worse, but not for lunch. So, yeah.
I've never taken this turn before.
You've never turned in?
No, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Take pictures.
I'm excited. So we're here at Beacon
Beacon.
Street,
On Beacon Street. Yeah,
and
these are all the
right over
brownstones.
here, we're gonna.
It says do not enter.
Yeah, we're not entering there. We're
Rumor has it there are people that can exist. There are people that can afford to live in these. I've never seen one.
No
This
one
is
that
an
I know.
apartment?
Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, those are the
These are all, yeah,
brownstones.
little condos. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's because we're normal people.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't even know what that means. That's a brownstone. Okay, it's a brown
Brownstone
building.
sounds expensive.
Literally
That's what it
it
means.
They're like townhouses.
Yeah.
Is that a duck or a statue of a duck?
I don't know. This guy's got a green light and he's not going.
Beep at 'em.
Somebody needs to hunk their horn.
Oh no, you did not.
I hunked my horn.
Why is your one broken?
It was broken. Finger works.
Boy.
Dude,
All right, so we're gonna
I should start throwing stickers at it.
right.
We're going up to,
We're gonna swing around here and we're gonna get a selfie at the entrance of Cheers, and then we're gonna put someone else in the hot seat.
the Bullfinch pub.
The Bullfinch kid. See if everyone knows our name. See if Sam. All right, so we got to talk some more gun stuff, some more of the Bill stuff.
Yes. Yes. So now we know about how it
Yeah.
was born from the listening tours.
From the listening tours, right?
Listening
Yep.
tours.
The listening tours.
And
So,
you went to how many?
I went to 8 of the listening
I went
tours.
to 9 out of the 11. It was 11.
Yes, 11. I
Yep.
did not go to the one on the Cape, the one that was in Boston,
You went to 10?
and the one.
I didn't go to the one in Boston.
The one that was way out in Lee. That they're like, oh hey, we're gonna change the time of this one tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I missed that one too because it was in the middle of the day on a
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Right.
It was at 3:00 in the afternoon on a
So
Tuesday.
it's not
all
like
of a
it-
sudden.
But
Right,
it's not
2
like it
hours
mattered if you went. They'd already written
So
everything.
the,
Oh,
the
yes.
whole point of the
This
listening
is
tours
true.
was for him to
Was-
listen.
Listen, that would be why they put it in the name.
Yeah.
Right. He listened like
And
that kid with
I don't
the
think he listened.
fingers in his ears.
He listened.
I don't know about you, but didn't you feel as though that when we went to these listening tours, like every single time we went and introduced ourselves, his body language changed. He didn't want anything to do with us. He just wanted to concentrate
This
on
Prius
talking to the Moms Demand Action Group.
Right.
Didn't you get
What was the makeup like? Like how many moms versus how many pro tour?
It was
It
pretty
depends.
even actually.
Yeah.
A lot of times it was. There were usually a handful of the red shirts.
Depending on the subject
issue-
matter also.
Yeah.
That was just a red light.
That was red light. That's fine.
Look,
Yellow
it was.
light.
I started. It was yellow.
It was yellow.
Started at the last light.
All right,
But okay.
this one's yellow, and I'm stopping.
Because there's a person in the crosswalk.
Well,
Yep.
Do not kill the pedestrians, and
They did wait for me to come to a full stop before they walked out.
Yeah, because I think they know better now.
they're
They
looking
do.
at it as, you know.
They did.
All
Yes, so they
we're
did-
talking about his listening
So
tour.
yes,
What did you say, Holly?
And we're talking about like, did you wind up seeing like the same faces?
Yes.
Of the
Yes.
Yes.
over
It was-
and
The
over?
anti is over and over again.
the,
Yes.
the red shirts. It's all as if they had nothing to do except go to these.
Yeah.
Not that
Or
it
were
wasn't
paid.
important for us, or they were paid because they would go in the red shirts and they would say the same stuff at every one. Oh, we
Yeah.
want live fire training, and you have some wacko woman that she's like, I want to know if you're carrying a gun that you can hit your target. And I wanted to say to her, I want to know
How
that
about-
you're not
weren't-
some drunk lunatic. How
Weren't
do you
you
prove to me
guys at
that?
the same one with the domestic violence?
Yes.
And that woman
Where
got
the
up.
woman.
The woman got up and said, if I had a gun, I know that my ex would have used it against
used
me.
it against me. Yes.
And we all went, like everybody in the back kind of did this little, what?
And you're like, well,
Right.
not if you
No.
train, girl.
So
I mean,
that's when
let's
I
work
got up
on
and
the
I
fact that
said-
you could defend yourself. That's
If you go
the
right
purpose.
here, if you go up that way, you can get past the State House.
Right. We'll get
Yeah.
there.
And that's when I got up and I said, I didn't say her, I said
Sam, we can
somebody
stop on
in the
School Street.
crowd.
pull over.
had
There's plenty of
mentioned
spots.
if they had a
We'll
gun
do cheers and we'll swing around.
that they
All right,
felt
that works.
as though it was going to be used against them, and I said something to the effect of, if you had a gun, it creates an equalizer for someone that's like 5'1", who weighs 500 pounds. I mean, 105 pounds.
I was gonna say
I was back.
the optics of a 5'1", 500-pounder.
You're more of a threat to them.
Right. They got a Smith & Wesson 500
just
the
pushing,
equalizer.
They're rolling on over to you, and then they roll back.
All you have to do is just cut the line to their oxygen, and you're good.
That's bad. That is bad.
Oh my God!
All I can think of is that at a 5-foot optic of that, it's those Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompa thing where Veronica blew up into a blueberry.
Just a blueberry.
Violet. Okay, Violet.
She's going to be taken to the juicing room.
Yep.
She's gonna be juiced.
All right, where did cheers go?
But it gave us the
did I miss
opportunity
it?
to talk
Did
about
you miss
it.
it?
Oh my God!
You gotta go around the block.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
my God, we
it's
gotta do
Big
this
Ben,
again.
everybody.
It's Big Ben.
It's Big Ben.
All right, I think the next stop we pull a Chinese
know
fire
where
drill
we're-
and switch people. No offense to the Chinese.
So to the left is the public garden.
Public garden.
What is that?
Oh, there's
Is
a
that
sign that says
representing?
Public Garden. Get a
What is
picture
that
of the sign.
statue
Hey, you can see the
representing?
swan boats.
He's gonna need pictures
Anybody?
of the.
Mike,
What's up?
you know.
Of what?
What is
The-
that
the-
statue
the dude with
representing?
the wings?
Is that an angel with the
Somebody that's got
wings?
something
You
about
know
one.
everything.
Little basket.
Let's go.
I know everything about the State House, but not.
Okay, so this is what we do.
Hey
We
guys!
on the freaking honk, kid. We're gonna honk. There we go.
There we go. We've just fired them all up.
Get to
Yes.
stepping!
Come on. They've even using their blinker. Come
What are you
on.
doing, dummy?
And see, the sign was they were using their blinker. You know
It
that
shows weakness.
they are.
All right,
Colorblind?
so let's all look over to see if
They
they
are the
look as
weakling.
stupid as they are.
Boo!
Oh, she did that with her arm just in time.
Just the whole.
Yeah.
She was on her phone. Oh, she's colorblind.
She's being taught this. You know that defensive maneuver to protect your
Right.
neck.
The,
Yes.
they teach that in the pepper spray class.
Right.
I just have to listen to that
Well,
Wu-Tang song.
They teach you in all the knife fighting classes too.
Right. Use your put your heads up and
Yeah.
use your elbows.
So we
Better to
go
lose a
back to
finger than you
that
have.
whole
We're gonna go
domestic
check.
violence thing.
Yes.
That was a good moment for us to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I thought it was interesting too. One of the ladies that was up there on the panel, that she's a domestic violence survivor, but
Yep.
she talks about how her boyfriend is a prohibited person and got a gun illegally.
Right.
Wow.
Hello.
That's-
Point is,
Hello.
That's not us.
This is current
Right.
boyfriend? Like, that's a red flag. Like, I might move on.
Yes.
right?
Yeah. You literally are getting yourself involved with a criminal, and you want to take it out on me. So I can't do things because you've made bad dating decisions.
So, wait,
Not my
has she
fault, man.
reported this to the police? She doing her part?
I'm sure she. Well, I don't know. She
It didn't look like they
I
had
think
picked
she
up on
said
that
X.
to say what
Didn't she
address
say
do you
X?
live at.
So
Right?
she was on the panel of speakers.
Yeah, she was on,
Yes.
but
So,
didn't she say
so she's
X?
an activist.
Yeah, she's right.
What?
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, she was on the panel of people. Yeah.
We're gonna disarm it.
You're in the
All right,
middle
we're
of yellow
going-
and red.
I know, just like it
That's
was
why you
last
go.
time.
That's when you go.
At the exact same spot.
Let's clear the intersection.
That means go fast.
Right. Green is go, yellow's go faster.
That's right.
Orange is not.
I'm still wrapping my head around a domestic violence survivor who is dating a man who's a prohibited person who's in possession of a firearm, and she's an expert.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Bingo, bingo, bingo.
But she came to us after and she said something. I don't remember exactly what I said. Maybe you can help me remember. Where she
Oh,
actually
please.
approached us later and she said, I never thought about
I never
that.
thought of that, right?
Oh, I think it was
Well-
when I talked about having a firearm on your hip as a woman, creating an equalizer. That's
Right,
what it
yeah,
was.
that's
She
what
said,
it
I
was.
never thought about that. And she came up
Right.
to us after because she wasn't a firearm owner. And she said that your statement makes me think maybe I should actually get my firearm too because I never thought
she
of
should
that.
just borrow her boyfriend's.
Here's a teal.
Yeah,
that's what I
Her
said.
red shirt slowly changes to teal.
Right.
Right, there's that. You can see the red sinking and the teal coming out.
Yep.
That would be great.
Goodness.
It's very funny that she
I know.
would think that only men can have guns and the women can't have guns to defend themselves.
That would make her a sexist.
Right? You're right in there.
Well,
with it.
so going back to if she had a gun on her hip leads us to what a lot of us believe, which is what, Amanda?
Pants on, gun on.
Pogo.
Pants on, gun on,
Pogo.
Yeah.
which is it's a way of life.
Yep.
It really is. Well, you saw my thing about Nashville the other day where
I thought that was great.
Nashville has, you can go into a bar, you cannot imbibe, but you can go into a bar with a gun. So some bars have their own policy though. So Diana and I were going, and Diana was wearing a belly band and her gun on her person, and I was wearing shorts that wouldn't support it, and so I was carrying it in a tiny little bag. And so the door checker dude wanted to check my bag.
Oh.
And he let Diana through already, and he wanted to check the bag. And Di says, "What are you checking for?" And he said, "Knives or guns or something." And she's like, "Oh, we have all that."
We want to make sure you were safe.
Oh my God.
Right.
And then he was like, I was like, "So we can't come in?"
Here
He's
it
like,
is.
"Yes."
Here it is.
Just like everything else in Boston.
Cheers.
It's under construction. All right, let's hop out.
All right,
Let's
who's
go.
going
Oh my
where?
God, we're
Let's get a
double parked.
selfie. Good luck. So now we have Mike Harris in the hot seat.
Do
Yes,
you
the hot
feel
seat.
it?
The hot
Do
seat.
you
See you, bro.
feel it?
Yeah, you too. It's my first time on the show. I'm
It's your
excited.
first time on the show. This is exciting.
Excited.
I love it. Can Mo not work her seatbelt
Wait a
out
minute, I
there?
can't find the seatbelt. Okay, I'm in.
I need GoPro to sponsor, baby. I know, right?
Uh-oh.
I'm working on some
Grab me
GoPro
those
4s
stickers.
here. I'm slumming it.
Here's your stickers.
Okay,
So Mike, you used to
Yes,
work
sir.
at the State House
For a long time.
for a long time.
Yeah, I was up there for about 10 years working for a few different legislators, and then I kind of bounced around because that's what you do up there.
Yeah.
They call them sideways promotions. But and then for the
the rest of us
last
call that a lateral move.
lateral
right?
move, yeah.
Yeah.
But and then I went to work for Charlie Baker for a couple of years doing
Charlie Baker.
legislative. I was the legislative director for DCR, the Department of Conservation and Recreation,
Oh, cool.
the attic of the Massachusetts state government. Yeah, so they shove all this stuff, but they don't know what to do with it.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's encouraging.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time, but
How did that lead to your gig with Goal?
So I got to know Jim while I was working for Brad Jones, the House Minority Leader, the House
Yeah.
Republican Leader. And there's a big giant table.
You don't have to say it twice.
But there's a big table in the middle of the RLO, the Republican Leader's office, and Jim would always come in there during budget season and stuff, and sit down and leave Holly's like a bag of cookies from Holly and stuff.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So I got to know him, and I got back into shooting like when I was working for DCR, and I called him one day and I was like, "Hey, do you know anyone in the industry?" And he was like, "As a matter of fact, we're looking for somebody." I was like, "Oh, cool, I'm in." So here I am.
What, 3 years now?
Yeah. Holy shit, yeah. I mean, holy crap, yeah.
That's cool. So what I like that you bring is that you bring the experience of having been through working at the State House and knowing how all of that all that goes. Yeah, from having
gross,
been the
the
inside.
gross inner workings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be an interesting place. It's not as much now because COVID has kind of taken a lot of the fun out of it. We were up there during the budget a couple months ago, and they were debating the largest budget we've ever had in this state, $60 billion budget. The House did it in 3 days with no floor debate, and just passed the largest budget in the history of the Commonwealth. So yeah, so it used to be kind of cool. It used to be there's a rope line outside of the House chamber, and all the lobbyists and everybody would just gather in there, and cause you couldn't go past the rope line because that would be undue influence. And during debate and stuff, they would come out, they'd be like, "Hey, I need the goal guy or the school the teachers union guy. We have a question about this and this," and we'd go up and you answer a question, and you'd run back in there with the answer for your boss. And now they just kind of go in the back room, they consolidate all the amendments and spend our money without telling us how they're going to do it until it's over. Yeah, So it used to be the horse trading used to be fun. You used to go there and negotiate stuff. Yeah. And now it's kind of gone, and I feel like we've really lost something as a Commonwealth for that. I mean, we were the last government building or the last Capitol building in North America to reopen after COVID. And
shocking.
And you can really see the results of it. It's kind of sad, but whatever.
I think
it is what it is. I mean, I think part of that, part of the unintended consequences of that is that a lot of people were a little more activated. So I think it's been easier to get people focused on this bill now than it would have been, a couple of years ago. So yeah, it's we're in interesting times.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Mike, are the lobbyists still allowed to gather, or is it prohibited now? Okay,
No,
they
we
just
are.
Don't come out.
There's just nobody there.
There's the State House.
Yeah. So here,
Right.
coming up on the State House on the left.
We're gonna park here.
And this is the 154th Regiment statue right here.
Should we go a little farther and double park, or should we just double park here?
Hey, this is fine.
Double park here. All right, everybody out. It's getting out.
Gates closed.
You gonna go around the State House?
Oh yeah, you want to go to the?
You gotta go left.
We gotta go left.
Yeah,
Let's
why
go
is
back
the
around.
State House
Back around.
gate closed?
Because it's always closed.
Because it's the State House. They don't want us.
Oh,
in.
that's the hooker entrance. No joke.
Yeah.
It's General Hooker. That's the
General Hooker,
entrance.
which is why they named the women hookers, because you used to get them women that would.
Yeah, I don't
the
know if
women-
that story's apocryphal or not, but I like it.
Let's go with it.
I believe it.
We're going with
I'm
it,
in.
right?
We're going with it. So the reason they call women of the evening hookers is because this general used to get women to come and spend
Really?
quality time with men.
Oh my
and
God!
they-
Oh, you were right
They're all-
there.
I told you it's right up
That's
the
the
street.
hooker entrance.
The hooker
So what
entrance.
did you
It's also across the street from.
Parker House.
So what'd you
Oh, the
do?
Parker
Fall
House.
off the-
Hey, it's the Parker House.
The Parker. This is where she fell.
That's
If-
where I fell, right in front of King's Chapel, and I hobbled over to the Parker
Yeah.
House.
But I have
No one helped you.
I have a better story.
No.
If you've ever had a Parker House roll or a Boston cream pie, that's where they were invented.
That is really.
I
That's
really?
true. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, we got
I
our
knew
own little
the
duck tour.
Parker rolls
Yeah.
came from Boston. I didn't ever think about the Boston cream pie that was named after Boston.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was.
It's right in the name.
But they, but both of
It's
You know-
a deep thinking thing.
You know, in Boston they just call it a cream pie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. But both of those confectionery marvels come from this building right here.
Awesome. Or would it be great
Well,
for us to
look
get a
up.
picture of this and send it to Jared?
I never really pointed like.
The Omni Parker House.
There is no way in hell I would want to live up there or be up there.
Oh, man. It's a hotel.
It's the Parker House.
There's the
Now I know
Parker
what the
House.
Parker House.
Parker
There you
House.
go.
Are we going to the Boston Massacre site?
That was
Is that
the
what
other
we're doing?
front.
It's right there.
It's,
Really?
yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was
That wasn't on your list?
It,
the Boston Massacre.
Oh,
That's
then
south by the old State House. That's that way.
A little more downtown.
It's a
All right.
financial district. Yeah. This is the Granary burial ground.
Granary. We're going to get a picture of the granary
Oh, that's right.
because right
Didn't we
next
go
to us is the
inside?
Beantown
Beantown
Pub,
Pub.
which
That's what
is
that
the
was
only
right after
place
that
That you can have a Sam Adams across from Sam Adams.
across the street from a,
Yes.
you know,
They
a
all
cold
miss
Sam
it.
Adams across the street from a cold Sam.
What is this cemetery again over here?
It's the Granary. The
Samuel
Granary
Adams is
burial
buried there.
ground.
Yeah, this is where I want to go.
This is
I
where
like
Samuel
really
Adams
want
is
to
We're
go.
buried.
going.
And this is my alma mater. This is Suffolk Law School.
Suffolk. You went to Suffolk.
I went to
Suffolk
Suffolk Law
Downs.
School.
Road. All right, let's get a selfie at the Granary. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Holly Sullivan. You know what episode you were, right?
37 maybe?
36.
I was 139.
36, somewhere around there.
36. I don't know. I love that this has become a thing. Like people know what their episode was.
Oh, it's competitive now.
I had
Yeah.
no idea. No idea.
My first riding with Charlie.
Right.
Mine too.
Riding shotgun.
So Holly, so the CCDL. So one of the things that you talked about yesterday is you talked about wanting to get the states together. I say it's a Rodney King moment where we say, can't we all just get along?
Yeah, so there's so much potential for state 2A organizations to be information sharing. Doesn't mean we need to fall under a bigger group. It doesn't mean we need to take direction from each other. We really shouldn't, because we all have different cultures and priorities and things going on. But man, we got to start exchanging ideas. So some really great stuff happening coming up in about a month or so at Gun Rights Policy Conference. Really excited to chat with other 2A groups. But even here, just this opportunity for GOAL and CCDL to really like open up a dialogue, because part of the problem with this bill, HD 4420, is it's going to eradicate non-resident permits. And in such tiny states here in New England, non-resident permits make life accessible, right? Maybe you live in a border town and you got to go grocery shopping, you cross the state line, it's a problem. So we really need to be engaged in other people's fight and help each other out where we can. So.
For sure.
Right.
I live in a town that borders Connecticut.
Yep.
And when I go to work once a week, I have to go through a half a mile in Thompson, Connecticut.
Scary stuff.
And what I do is I drive as fast as I can because I want to be there as little time as possible.
Yeah, so I live
'Cause I don't want
on
to break the law a lot. I'll break it a little bit, but not a lot.
I live on the opposite side of Connecticut, so I'm on the New York border. So the town where I work borders New York State. And one time I got into road construction, I got diverted into New York State. You're a felon. What are you going to do? You know, so you got to be really careful. So this concept of non-resident permits and making sure we stand up for each other. It's really important.
It's really
Definitely. Definitely.
weird.
It's honestly is living in states and crossing into a state where you don't have a permit is certainly an what did you call it? Unintended consequence?
Unintended consequence. But it has serious repercussions for good people that are just trying to do the right thing. And yeah, we see time and time again people that do the wrong thing and they know they're doing the wrong thing, they get a slap on the wrist. But for us, it could change their lives. So.
Absolutely.
And I would argue in the case of this bill, it's an intended consequence.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
what does Amanda say? It's a feature.
Yeah, it's a feature, not a bug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And can I piggyback on what you said, Holly?
Yeah.
I think the information sharing stuff is great because another one of the things that we're seeing at GOAL is a lot of these test balloons for municipal
Yes. Ordinances
that will kind of change zoning laws as far as FFL
Oh, it's going to shut
operation
everybody down.
and things like that. So, you know, being able to kind of head that stuff off at the pass and kind of giving each other a heads up on some stuff and kind of better strategic information would be invaluable.
Absolutely.
So this is a huge project that CCDL has taken on in the last couple of years. So in Connecticut, we have 169 municipalities. We do not have preemption. So basically, towns can do different things as far as various ordinances. And we have what's called our outreach program. It's headed up by Dr. Walt Cupson, and he does an amazing job. Essentially, we have our state divided into regions. There's a regional manager for that particular region, and then each of those regions has town captains. So what we ask our members to do is, if you're a town captain, be paying attention to the agenda of your first selectmen's meeting, your alderman's meeting. Just get on that email list and watch planning and zoning. And if something hits, it's like a noise ordinance or some sort of shooting ordinance escalated up. We have shut down every single municipal ordinance that has come up since we've been actively doing this. We've had two.
That's awesome.
We've had two in the last 90 days that are currently stalled
awesome.
because we packed that room and we let them know, hey, we're watching. It's a municipal election year.
Right.
Don't treat gun owners differently. If you need to have a noise ordinance, it should be for all issues.
Right.
Don't direct it towards gun owners. If there's a noise problem, you treat it the same. We understand that.
Not a second class right.
Exactly, it's not a second class right. So it just goes to show if somebody, if it's motorcycles, if it's loud music, whatever it is, but to be consistent, and that.
Un momento. This right here, a guy taking up a whole freaking lane on a scooter, is one of these things that grinds my gears.
She's wearing a tie though, Charlie.
And he has teal on, so, you know, maybe we should give him a
he's
little
gonna
bit
need
of
that helmet. Okay, sorry.
It's an asshole.
He is a
He's
masshole.
an asshole.
Sometimes with the M, sometimes without.
Yes, that one's a asshole. That doesn't count as a cuss, does it?
No, we need
No,
more
it's an
hot
asshole.
word. Bad heads.
A swear word.
Yeah.
It's a portmanteau.
So this is the kind of stuff we want to do. So we want to talk to other state gun right groups and share information. There's a lot that we can learn too, because there's a lot of stuff that maybe we could be saying, hey, you guys are killing it here. We want to do this. And so really looking forward to kicking this off and kind of just creating this like forum for state 2A orgs to learn from each other, but not feel any pressure to report to a higher group.
That regional
Very
regional captains program is a case in point for what you just said. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's working.
It's one of the things we've been trying to do is organize the clubs and do something similar, but it's been impossible. I mean, just like Jim said last night during one of his speeches was we still have clubs that are not getting involved.
Yeah, they don't want to get involved.
We're like, guys, they're coming for you.
They
too.
use the F
they
word?
say it's political. They don't want to get political.
It's a direct quote.
I don't even
No,
understand
not that
statement.
F word.
I don't get it.
There's no choice to get
Oh, absolutely.
Right, but I think it's
Yeah.
gun political, all on its own.
So this is one of the things that's hard to be, particularly when you're a gun instructor and you have people taking classes and you don't know or care what their political persuasion is, but you want them to be pro-gun. You want them to get them on our team, and so you can't sit here and say stuff like the liberal wackos and and the anti-gun Democrats, even though. You don't
I
have
was
to-
just
you
saying
don't have to say it.
historically one party has been more favorable to our issue than another.
Right. Right.
You know, at the end of the day, the answer is, look, you might not take an interest in politics, but politics takes an interest in you, whether you like it or not.
Nice.
And I always say guns are not inherently political, but one group of people has made them so.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
And I think, like you said, if we all work together, then we can help each other grow our memberships too. Because I think that's for goal. I think that's been, I don't want to say an issue, but I think people are not recognizing what we do, what goal does. You know what I mean, and the importance of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the LTC holders in the state are 1/10 of the population, and about 1/6 of 0.6. I don't even know what
Whatever
is
the math is.
What's 20,000 of 600,000?
20,000, 600,000.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe a 12th
Yep.
Not a lot.
are
enough.
gold members. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean that people aren't active in the fight, but it just means, they don't have the same access to information that we have.
Exactly.
Like that.
Sure.
I always tell people the staff is not goal. We are the kind of the flagmen out on the runway with the glow sticks kind of directing people where to go.
Yeah.
I like that analogy.
Yeah,
That's
so
true. Yeah,
that
very
is good.
true.
We're just kind of a clearinghouse for information, and we just make sure it gets distributed to our members, who are the ones that should be out there doing the work.
And you work very hard to get that relationship with the other legislators, that you get the information in advance, which is key too, because you're creating relationships with them and trust, which is ultimately the
Exactly.
key to getting in the door with people that don't necessarily know us and trust us.
Exactly, and being in such a heavily Democratic state, I mean, the Democrats, I'm sorry we're hijacking your time.
It's okay. It's all right. No, this is organic.
Being such a
Right,
heavily
while we're here at the stop sign, we'll do a Chinese fire drill. We'll get Mike back in the front.
No, since we're such a heavily Democratic state, especially in the legislature, they have a hypermajority in both houses, and they now have the corner office and every single constitutional office.
Yep.
Democrats that agree with us are our bread and butter. So when we catch hell from folks who are members or 2A activists, why are you endorsing this person or endorsing this person? It's like, look, this legislator, regardless of their political affiliation, party affiliation, has an A+ rating with us. On our scale, they're friends.
Sure, we have to remember that we're single issue, and that does come up in Connecticut as well. So much like Massachusetts, Connecticut, the majority party has control of all branches of government in Connecticut. There are, while certainly a few and far between, there definitely are Democrats that have been endorsed by us because they have been solid on 2A issues. They're rated pro 2A by us because we are a single issue organization.
Exactly.
We are not a Republican organization, but it's not lost on us that the most of our friendlies happen to be Republicans.
Right.
So, yeah, for sure. And this is sometimes a hard thing to separate, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
It is.
And since you're up front, Holly, some people might be viewing this that's never really heard of the DC project. I mean, we just introduced GOAL, Gun Owners Action League, and that's similar to what you do, which is the CDL.
It's the same thing.
So it's the same thing. So maybe we can kind of do a little intro on what the DC project is.
Yeah, absolutely. So DC Project was a group that was formed really organically by Diana Bowler. She's a retired police officer, originally out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And she just had this moment of understanding that she was in Washington, D.C. and she said, we really need to have more presence here. We need to start having a dialogue. And she got some folks together. They did a really small kind of test trip into D.C. and then it went full blown. And Amanda Suffecool, who's back there somewhere, way back there. She and I have been a part of the DC project since our first big trip to DC. So I don't even know, Amanda, how many years are we doing this?
We were talking about that last night.
2015, 2016. I'm not sure.
2015-ish. It's about 8 years ago, roughly. So Amanda and I both serve on the advisory board of the DC project now, it's good stuff. So I'm the legislative advisor for the DC project, so kind of talking about strategy and what policies we want to back in the Capitol. Amanda is also the regional director for the Southeast region. So big group, lots of ladies that are really working to change the face of the American gun owner, and that Moms Demand Action does not speak for all women. That there are quite a lot of us that are on the other side of it and understand that self-defense is a human right.
And there's a state director now for pretty much all the states, right?
Yeah, I think we're down. sometimes somebody drops out, somebody else. So we're always probably running 2 down kind of thing.
So if you're in Massachusetts and you want to join the DC project, reach out to me.
Yeah, so Kerrie Ann is the Massachusetts State Director in Connecticut. Mary Forges is the Connecticut Director. But really just, you can hop right on dcproject.info, right?
Yep,
correct.
And I had a moment there. Yeah, dcproject.info. And if you're interested, go ahead and sign up and we'll be in touch. We'll figure out how to get you involved. So even don't feel that one of the misconceptions is a lot of people think that they need to make the trek to DC, and especially if you're in a farther away state, not on the East Coast, you don't have to go all the way to DC to be part of the DC project. That work can be done.
Hang on,
Charlie.
Hey, look, I knew I wanted to turn somewhere, but I didn't know where.
Well, you made a
don't need
choice.
to go to the carnival. It's kind of like riding a ride.
It's
All right. Hopefully nobody gets motion sickness.
That's that slide where the cop went flying down.
Can we go do
Oh,
that?
himself. Yeah, that's right
That's
there.
the slide.
What did he
Alright.
do? Oh,
You
you
haven't
didn't
seen that
see
video?
it?
That
Oh my
poor police
God.
officer
It's
comes
great.
flying out there going 90 miles an hour,
Head
Yeah.
first.
God.
loses his radio and his pepper spray.
It's great.
Well, what, did he purposely go down the slide? for
Yeah,
a
but
reason?
it just
He didn't
it went along.
expect to get
It's
mangled.
made
Apparently,
for kids,
police uniforms are real slippery,
and also
and
an
it
adult
really went.
man weighs more than a child. It's meant for kids. So
So it went bad.
Yeah, it went poorly. Yeah, he got a
Nobody
head
cares.
injury. Actually, it's not.
it's
got a
not
head
funny.
injury.
It's less. It's
Nobody
less
cares.
funny. It's not
I
funny.
care.
It is.
Stop.
It's less funny.
Sometimes
I don't know what I'm
decisions
caring about, but I
result in
care.
humor.
Tell me about it.
Most of the time.
If you gotta be dumb, you gotta be tough. Just park right in front of the thing, the old state house. That's it.
All right,
there.
we're gonna park in front of the state house. We'll hop out. Well, I know. I get 5 backseat drivers.
So you guys see
Even the
those
one that
flower
doesn't
pots?
drive.
Yeah, I know.
Telling
Even the
you what
person
to
that
do.
can't drive is telling me how to drive. This is the life I live. This is the gig
This
I've chosen
is
for
the way
myself.
I live.
All right, so we'll get a selfie. We'll hop out and then put Bonnie in the front.
Yeah.
All right, so
This is
ladies
the
and gentlemen,
cost-
now we have Bonnie Marshall in the hot seat. Bonnie is one of the DC Project Gals in the Grand. Well, and she is. Where are we going, Jeff? Let's go this way. So one of the things that Di talked about a couple years ago is not just having the 50 ladies from every state, but doing things at the state level. And you got involved in doing stuff at the state level.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. Tell us about this.
Well, I met Kerrie originally with the. It used to be the Well-Armed Woman, now Armed Women of America shooting chapter. So I started with that. I basically just help out with like the administrative stuff.
And
with
you're an
her.
RSO.
And yes, and I became an RSO to help out the chapter.
Cool.
And then when she got involved with the DC project, then I jumped on board with that, obviously.
Cool. So what made you become a gun gal? Like what made you like? There's usually something that
It
makes
was
people
I'm a
get
realtor.
active.
I'm a realtor,
You're a realtor.
and it's like I'm in the house with people I don't know quite often. So
Yeah. My ex-wife
little
was
scary.
My ex-wife was in the real estate. Like I said, she was in the surreal estate.
yes, yes,
Some weird, crazy fantasy. world.
yes. No, I'm
Anyway,
licensed in Mass, and I am gun licensed in Mass, and I need to practice more to qualify for Rhode Island,
right.
so I can cross state lines.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So yeah, so being a real estate agent, like I always tell people real estate agents are people that should carry guns because they
They're like,
they're people that can bring strangers into someone else's house and take them around
Yeah.
and give them a tour of the house.
Unfortunately, there's people that
oh, that's
the target
That's a
realtors.
great picture.
That is a
Yeah.
great one.
Because they it's just them in a house all by themselves.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, there's rules of engagement. You never get between them in the door. You always make sure that you just have to just be very cognizant of your surroundings.
Yeah. So you're an RSO. Did you have you become an instructor?
No,
Not yet. Thinking about it.
no, not really.
No?
I don't really have a
Okay.
need for it.
So here's
So I trained with Jon.
the Supreme Judicial
Dr.
Court.
Green?
Yes,
That's
sir.
Gotta love Dr. Green.
Hancock
He's
Courthouse.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's the
Gun
SJC.
God.
So
And this is the
how
other
often
side
do you
of the
meet
state
with
house right
how often do you meet with the girls?
We it's the first Monday of every month. We
Adams Courthouse,
yeah,
right,
it's
yeah.
just great. It's just a bunch of good, like-minded people. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. Very cool.
No, that's
Yeah.
Very cool. How long you been doing it?
Not really very long. I think I just got my license maybe 4 years ago.
Really?
If that, maybe 3.
This
That's cool.
It hasn't been that long.
So I never ask people how many guns they have, but what's What's your
Watch
favorite?
out for this guy here.
I see him.
My
He has a
favorite one
He does.
is my Sig P365, but I carry the 238.
Gotcha.
And I remember when I got my license, I said to Renee and Kerrie, I was like, why does anybody need more than one gun? They're like 7 now.
Why would anybody want just one?
I know.
What's the famous line is guns are like potato chips?
Yes.
You can't have just one?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm on the market now for a rifle.
Nice. What kind?
I don't know yet.
A Tavor, Charlie.
A Tavor. I just won a Tavor. I might be for sale.
It shouldn't be. It's
I
my
know,
favorite
it
platform that I own.
It shouldn't be. It was funny. As soon as I won it, I started taking pictures of the gun and sending pictures to my kids. And Jared's sitting next to me. He's like, dude, did you put it on Gunbroker already? No, but I do have college to pay for.
Yeah.
It's not going to be enough, so I'll tell you that right
I
now.
have oil to pay for this winter, so
God.
Oh, God.
talk to me in the
Totally.
spring if it's for sale.
Totally. Oh, my God.
There's the ugliest building in Boston.
What, City Hall?
that?
So that was the City Hall.
City
Oh
Hall?
no, wasn't that? Wait, the front end is the state police headquarters, and then the back end is City Hall, right?
Yeah, back in the City Hall. All right.
That's the ugly, the big brutalist. But it's perfect for Boston though because it's communist architecture.
Yes.
So
Very fitting.
yeah.
Communist architecture.
What's brutalism? That's some commie stuff.
Yeah, some commie stuff.
Cammy, mommy.
Commie
And then over
mommies.
here is Mass General.
Not the Mass General, but the hospital?
Yeah.
Nice. And the Bruins don't play too far, right?
Well, no,
Wait,
they're over that way.
Right.
That's the garden
The
that
garden.
doesn't. It's the other garden that doesn't grow flowers.
Yeah.
Right.
It grows titles.
Oh, not for a while though.
You know, 2000,
very first
2008,
concert was at the
2011.
All right, that's a while ago.
We almost got another one in 2013.
Almost. What else? What do you like to do? What do you like to shoot, Bonnie? Do you do like IDPA or something?
Do I do what?
That would be a no.
That would be a no. I don't know what that means, so probably not.
No, IDPA is the International Defense and Pistol Association.
No, I have not taken one of those courses yet.
Yeah,
I want
that's
to.
the one I was talking about that
Yeah.
John does the intro
Yeah.
to.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's I've done this before. I've a long time ago when my kids were younger. I tried working on the weekends when I didn't have my kids, and there was one weekend where I didn't have to work and I didn't have my kids, and I went to an IDPA shoot, and I'm shooting my J frame like 38, and guys are like, dude, you're not going to be very competitive. I'm like, you don't understand why I'm here. I'm here because one, I can be here. I don't have my kids and I don't have to work, and I'm here to hang out and play guns and
play guns.
yeah, and it was a good time.
Play guns.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff for sure.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to do it last weekend, but I couldn't do it.
That's all
Couldn't make
right.
it happen.
John's got the classes ongoing.
I love him.
He is
Dr.
a
Green.
walking encyclopedia.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh. Anytime you have any questions about the law, he's just so funny how he just 131 lowercase e,
I know,
uppercase F,
I
or
know.
whatever
Yeah.
it is, right?
It's crazy.
His recallability is astounding.
It's crazy.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right.
It inspires me.
I kind of felt like that about you, Mike, when you were giving us that tour of the
there
state
you
house.
Right?
That was pretty cool.
I know. What is it?
That was impressive.
It was impressive because I
was in that
I
building for
don't
like
go
a
to.
decade.
I'm not a city girl. So when I
No,
get
I'm
to the
not either.
city, I'm like actually
Very overwhelmed.
it's overwhelming, but the history of it is just incredible.
Well,
you know-
all of Beacon Hill was owned by John Hancock. He donated it to the state to build the Capitol building on. So you
right.
see like pictures of them building it.
I
like
love
the-
this. I need to get over, but this guy's not going to let me go.
Oh, he's inching up too. He's
So am I.
That was an
Slowly
that-
we move,
that
inch
inch
by
that he
inch.
just took was an FU, Charlie.
That's right.
A few mile.
It's all right. I got to get over, baby.
What do you
Oh, you're just saying that.
But yeah, that was before they used dynamite or had front end loaders, so they loaded it by hand. Like they
you
took that
imagine?
whole top of that hill off.
Oh, so we can still get in here, can we?
Hi. How are you?
Oh, yeah, easy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's
Coming
coming
at
for
us.
me.
They're coming for you.
They're coming for me. So the ironic thing is, I'm trying to get over to the right. The guy that was not trying to let
Wanted
me
to
in
go to the left.
wanted to go to left. Perfect. Perfect. Welcome to
Well, he's like, I
Capitol.
want to go left in front of you. Well, I want to go right in
I want to
front
go
of
right
you.
in front of you.
Right.
How about you go right behind me? All right.
Yeah, so we're on Storo Drive here.
So what's our next stop?
the people for public.
So you know what our next stop's going to be? We're going to stop in Kenmore Square by the Sitco sign, and then we're going to put Moe in the hot seat. So now we are entering the Kenmore Square area.
Spent a lot of time here in my
Boston
youth.
strong.
All right, we're going to hop out here. We're going to put Moe in the hot seat. All right, now in the hot seat is Moe Palmer. In the midnight hour, I cried Moe, Moe, Moe. There we are. Moe Palmer from Quincy.
From Quincy.
What's happening? I can't believe you're here.
I know, I'm finally doing riding shotgun with Charlie.
Finally riding shotgun. So you are you're a relatively new gun gal?
Relatively
new gun gal?
Relatively new into this 2A world. I grew up in a home where guns were part of life.
I grew up in a home too.
Good for you.
Yeah, well.
Something in common.
Right. Yeah, so the non-gun house, gun agnostic, anti-gun?
Pro-gun.
Pro-gun?
Pro-gun, but it was one of those things where it's like, okay, do we want to go bowling? Do we want to go to the gun range? Do we want to play pool? Do we want to go to a movie? It was just a thing to do. I never realized that there was a community like this out there. I didn't realize that it was a passion for people. It was something that we just grew up, it was something we did once in a while.
Yeah.
There's Fenway, go Sox.
It's Fenway Park, we live on Lands down the street.
Fenway Park.
Fenway Park. Yeah, so pro-gun, grew up around it.
Pro-gun, definitely pro-gun. And it's funny, when I was in high school, we were doing contemporary issues as one of my history classes, and we had to do debates on hot topic items, hot topics. And so I chose anti-gun control.
Nice.
And I wiped the floor with the kid that I was debating against. I brought in handouts. I did all sorts of stuff. I had all my research. Yeah. And the teacher was definitely anti-gun. And he even said to me, he goes, you almost convinced me to become pro-gun.
Nice.
And I got an A, so that was nice.
Boom.
But I really wasn't, I don't know, as I was a kid, as a 20-year-old, I was going out partying. I wasn't really, got married, had kids. I wasn't really thinking of guns or anything. It was just a thing to do.
Yeah.
Until 2020.
What happened in 2020?
In 2020, there was a little bit of unrest, and I live near the city, and I got a little bit nervous. And that's when I started thinking, hey, I might want to consider having guns for self-defense to protect my family. And that was, I started taking classes, I started collecting.
Yeah.
And I found this world. I found GOAL, I found the DC project, and I jumped in.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. So what have you done since then? You became an RSO, didn't you?
I am an RSO. I love that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. Every once in a while I think of being an instructor, but I don't know if I want to stand up and talk in front of a class. I'd rather be out on the range.
Yeah.
I like doing the safety stuff. I like that because then a lot of instructors will hire me to come.
Hey, Kerrie Ann.
Okay. Kerrie Ann gets a text message.
A lot of instructors will hire me to come out, so I get to meet a lot more people than I would have if I was just instructing myself.
Right. That's cool.
You got a text from Dad.
Very cool. All right, here we are.
I thought it was Charlie.
So we are.
We got mega traffic.
Woof! It is construction season, and
you're gonna get hit by the truck.
There we go. I'm not gonna get hit by the truck. Come on, Pally. So yeah, construction season. Here we are. We are turning onto Boylston Street. Boylston Street. So about a half a mile from where we are is where the marathon bombs went off.
I'm seeing a lot of people.
It's over here?
It's on this road. It's about a half mile, and with the traffic, about a half an hour.
That was such a tragic event.
Yeah.
Everything about it. Horrible.
My favorite is,
But there was a lot of,
love to be the guy.
I don't know. I don't want to say anything tragic. There's always something that we can learn from.
So we get a lot of people.
For sure.
Well, good people come together when there's a tragedy.
These people have signs. Is there a game today?
Yes.
Yeah.
This looks like a... Oh, you know what? This is probably a college tour.
Anytime they had a question.
Oh.
Why? Because all the kids are Asian?
The guy.
No, because they're all like 18 years old.
Okay.
Like we were, not more.
There are a lot of Asians. Yeah, the signs are facing backwards, so maybe that's maybe that's the giveaway.
Because the people reading it are following, so they stay with their group.
Right. So tell us more. So you've got a little career going on as a guest of podcasters, don't you? Aren't you sort of a regular with somebody?
Yeah, I have a friend who has a podcast in Idaho.
How do you become friends? If you don't have a driver's license and can't leave the 617 area code, how do you end up with a friend in Idaho?
So it has to do with in 2020, when I first started getting into all this, and I wanted to find stuff. So I looked online for podcasts, I looked for websites. And anything that was a gun podcast, I started listening to. And if I liked it, I kept listening to it. If I didn't like it, I deleted it.
Cool.
And one that I really liked was a guy out in Idaho. And I just liked the personality. I liked the show. He had a Facebook page, so I would comment.
What's the name of it?
Patriot Defense.
Nice.
So Todd Eccles is the host of that, and he puts up with my nonsense. Do you see how good I'm doing? Trying so hard not to swear.
Oh my God.
This is really, I'm telling you, Mike, this is hard to not swear.
It is hard.
Mike flunked, so you're doing good.
Mike flunked twice.
Actually, I think it might have been 3 times. Maybe.
It's just commas.
Yeah, so I just had a recall with him.
Yeah.
And he had me on the show. He had a few different women, so he wanted to. He had new women to shooting episode, and I was one of the guests. And because he's out of Idaho, most of the people who listen to his show are out of Idaho in that part of the country.
Yeah.
And the fans loved me. They're like, does that girl really talk like that?
Oh my God, right. She sounds like Maggie Mac.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
They got a kick out of me, and I became a fan favorite. So every few months, I'm a guest
You're on.
the
Very
show,
cool.
and they send me gifts.
All right. All right. So we
Guys?
are.
Guys? Can I send you guns?
I'll talk to you about that later off.
Oh my. So we're in the area right where the marathon bombing happened.
Yes.
Marathon
What is
bombing
that?
happened. And
Prudential Center?
yeah, this is the Pru. The Pru is
What is it?
it's the Prudential
mall.
Center. It's
it's
a
a mall?
very high-end mall. It's the Pru. It's the Prudential. It's the bottom.
Come on.
It's
I
at the
thought it was the
bottom of the
building.
Pru.
Where's the
There's
building?
Ramsey's
Where's this?
Kitchen right there.
Oh!
And yeah, so this is the
Oh,
last
I
stretch
see
of
it back there.
this area right here is the
Yeah,
where
they have
the
this little
marathon
observation
ends.
up top.
Did they really?
And this is the Lennox Hotel.
No, it's inside. It's just
So
the
the
top floor.
marathon that year, I was volunteering for the
And you
marathon.
can see
Really?
Yeah, but I was at mile 20
the city all lit.
Gotcha.
in Newton, and
In Newton.
we.
Ooh, Irish
And I remember it was a
pubs and
beautiful
the Irish
day,
pub.
and we were all talking about what a beautiful day it was. And then at one point, one of the girls that was volunteering, she's like, "What's that smell?" And we were all commenting the weird smell we could smell,
Mm-hmm.
and we figured someone was throwing trash on their grill. And then that's when the cops came by and told us what happened.
Really?
Yeah, we could smell it from mile 20.
What is
Wow.
it? What was it?
It was a marathon bombing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So the
Where
cops
is
told
mile
us
20?
it's
Newton.
yeah, Calm Ave in Newton.
Dude,
Newton. Well, what do you call it? It's Newton.
I lived on Comm Ave in Newton
So
during that, like right on the line right before BC.
it's right at the
Nice.
bottom of
During the
Heartbreak
bombing.
Hill.
Yeah.
Here's the here's the
lived
finish line.
That was when I was in law school.
My professor was running that day.
That was nuts.
That was incredible.
pretty
He was
cool.
telling us the
7 in the
story
morning.
about the
7 in the
kid.
morning.
Oh.
Comm Ave was empty. I've never seen anything like it. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Comm Ave going into Boston 7 in the morning on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Empty street.
Oh,
It was wild.
Yeah, it's completely nuts.
that's crazy.
All right. We can do it
Right
here.
near my house, Mo.
You want to do something fun?
Yes.
You want to really freak Kerrie Ann out? We're gonna go down. We'll go down Newbury Street because there's not a lot of traffic there.
Oh no.
Not a lot of
no.
people.
Everybody keep your wallets.
It's
That's
a
right.
quiet little place.
Quiet little place.
If you look sideways at certain stores, you lose your money comes out of your wallet automatically.
Yeah. So, love to help Goal.
Yes, I started my teaching career going to the Firearms Safety Education Days and helping Jon Green, and I would be on the pistol line helping people shoot, do the fundamentals of shooting, and that was always pretty cool.
See, that's the fun
Just
stuff.
to counteract.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
John would pay us in ammo.
It's-
Like the deal was,
Yeah.
if we didn't use all the ammo, we could take a little bit home.
Oh,
all right,
some
that's
of my
cool.
instructors pay me in ammo, and that's great already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, the reason I became a range safety officer in the first place actually was because I heard about Legislators Day on the Range, and I wanted to help with that.
right.
So
but
I
you can't-
became an RSO, and that was the year that the speaker told all the guys not to go.
Right?
Oh,
You can't
yeah.
actually,
And so
you
nobody
can't
went.
actually shoot the legislators.
Is that what happened? The speaker told. Oh my.
That's what I heard. Mike Harris, can you confirm?
Yeah, it was 2014,
Yeah.
2015.
No, it
The
wasn't that
last
long
one
ago.
you had. The last one you were supposed to have.
Oh, that was after.
That was
That wasn't.
20.
After Sandy Hook.
That was a while ago.
And
Yeah.
then the speaker said, "Don't go."
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
true?
so I wasn't working in the house. I was just working for Charlie already at that point. So I don't know what happened at that one.
Gotcha.
But I
Charlie.
heard that as well.
Hmm.
John.
So I'm still hoping that one of those happen. The legislative day on the range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were fun because we take the legislators out and teach them about stuff. There was one guy, John said, that would come every year, enjoyed shooting, wildly anti-gun.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
Absolutely. But yeah, besides the legislators, they used to have college students. They'd bring college students out to teach them how to shoot, which was pretty cool.
That is good.
And it was a lot of fun. It was always a good time. And then it was one of those things where John's like, "Hey, so you're helping us? Why don't you become an instructor?" And I'm like, "Well, what do I need to do to become an instructor?" And he's like, "Oh, you got to take the NRA course." It's all his fault.
It's all his
It's
fault.
all his fault.
It's all his
It
fault.
What were
is
you into? You
all
love
his
it.
fault.
You love it.
It could be a lot worse. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, guys. Thank you all for being on.
Thanks.
Where am I going?
Amanda didn't go yet.
It's okay.
Oh my God! I thought you started. All right. Oh, not yet. Okay, we're doing a Chinese fire drill right here.
Right here? What?
Oh my God!
Thought you were gonna kill
Okay,
that
change
guy.
places, girls.
Oh, thank you.
Is Mo
I
in?
love them.
Mo's in.
We're in.
All right. Last but not least.
Save the best for last.
Least important of them all.
Oh, stop! I've hit you on so many times. It's ridiculous.
I was number 9.
You were
just
number
saying.
9.
When
You're in the top 10. Load of
last night they were doing where everybody was in the lineup, and I'm like, let me look. Oh,
number 9.
9.
Engine number 9. One of my favorites, one of my closest friends in the gun community, Amanda Suffecool.
I'm
Because-
just his conscience.
She really is.
No
She
big deal.
really is.
And it's super cool.
She is so effing cool. You have a new gig
Wait,
this
isn't
year?
there a
You
T-shirt
have
that
17
says "I want to
reviews.
be Amanda"?
Oh yes, a hot pink T-shirt that
There
says
is?
hashtag
Really?
I want to be
Yep.
like Amanda Suffecool.
I like it.
Yeah, there's about 50 of those in the wild. That was Cheryl Todd surprised me. Phoenix, was it maybe?
Yeah, in
That's
Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix for that. But yeah.
All right,
So no,
we're gonna go this way.
So I have
Yep.
my prior gig was I actually
fall out. Thank
worked
you.
for a living, had an engineering degree, engineered, and now I've retired, and so now I get to do what I want to do. So it's like heart projects instead of working to live indoors and eat store-bought food.
I heard you're a trucker.
Oh. It's hysterical. My husband has either no sense of humor or a big one. I'm not sure, right? So
Say sense of humor.
sense of humor. Is that where I went?
Yes.
No. Yes. Exactly. So we were at the fair, and he's telling people that because this past week has been a pretty full week. I was in Tennessee, then I was in Georgia, then I was home, then I'm here in Mass. That so he started to tell people that I was a truck driver, and that my new career is that I'm driving truck, and I'm driving a semi. So
Oh my God.
so a friend of ours comes up to me very concerned, and he's like, the 2A gig isn't working out. Are you guys okay? Do you need money? Right? Like he was going to make a donation to the Suffecool household or something. And it was
That's
like,
funny.
no. He's just making humor. He's
Right.
funny. So no, I'm going to have to defend the I'm not a truck driver.
You're not a truck driver.
For a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, but you're like. People say to me, they're like, "All right, so Charlie, you're here, you're there, you're here, you're there." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just keeping up."
I'm just keeping up.
Like I'm trying to figure out where Amanda's going and seeing if I can go to more places than she is, but it's not working out.
It's not.
It is not.
No,
working
it is.
out.
Well, this week's gonna put me way ahead of you. I'll just say
It
really was a hectic
little crazy.
week. Yeah. But no, we did some really good stuff. We had it off red flag in Tennessee.
Nice.
So the Senate Majority Leader told us personally that it was deader than a doornail.
Excellent.
So we like dead doornails, and we'll see what happens come January. But actually, in Tennessee, they're talking about school safety programs.
Mm.
So we think that we're going to have an opportunity to be in and not necessarily on the ground floor, but in those conversations of what does that bill say, and how can we make it to where it allows the programs that are already mature in a variety of states to go to new states without the recreation. If like Faster Saves Lives, if it is already in 22 states in 300 school districts, then I think that's me.
Yep.
Breaking the law.
Oh no, we can't have broken a Boston law at all. Not one of them. Not one. So,
What's the other book? Everyone commits 3 felonies every day.
there you go.
I'm good to go. I can take the rest of the week off.
Exactly.
In Boston, it's not breaking the law anymore. It's offending the crown.
Oh, okay.
There you
I thought
go.
some of these were just suggestions, not really laws. But
Right.
yeah, there you go. So yeah.
So, sorry. The Tennessee bill getting on the ground floor.
Right. So because Faster is a mature program, and so we'd like to get other states to know that it exists and utilize it, because right now there's Faster Ohio, Faster Arizona, Faster Colorado, so they're doing really good stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's just a good program to get behind. And so I mentioned it here in Mass and got a couple of people who said, "Oh, I'd like to be involved." And so those conversations are going to take place too. So it's great when your life comes together, so you can have a mission that that will make a difference and leave a legacy. And that's kind of where I'm working now.
Very cool. That's awesome. That is awesome. What else is going on? You got an Eye on the Target radio?
Yeah, nationally syndicated radio show. It's kind of, I do TV at the same time, so on-demand TV. So it's kind of Howard Sternish, if that's how boring is it? How boring is it to watch 2 people sitting there doing radio while they're on TV? But people seem to like it.
Howard brought in a lot of guests. We had High Pitch Eric and
Then he went call me.
Yeah.
Then he would call me.
That's right.
But yeah. I'm not sure when. I'm not sure it was went or was. So there's that.
It really does.
Right.
I never thought he was funny.
Yeah,
So now we're working on, like Holly said about the advisory board, so we're getting ready to do the DC Project fly-in and putting together all the teams and everything for that. Starting conversations with our legislators, because the real answer is it's not enough for you to know your legislator needs to know you.
Yeah, Jared said that. I've heard other people say it as well, and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing enough.
I'm not doing enough. So
Right.
Keep up, Charlie.
Yeah,
That's your
keep up.
hashtag, right?
Great. More work for Charlie.
More work. So no, I think this group, when you really start to look at it, like the DC Project, that's really what's brought us all together. People say, what are the groups that are doing things in the 2A world? And I think that the DC Project crosses all of the borders, all the boundaries, and all of these gals are involved in other things. So you get to know other organizations that you never would have known before. So when people say about it, I was like, it's like going to summer camp with your heroes. These gals that are involved in it are just so darn amazing in their own right, in the things that they do. And so when you sit and you watch them, you're like, I gotta up my game.
I gotta keep up.
Right. It just is. And that's sort of where I want to be like Amanda Suffecool was. Cheryl Todd, kind of Arizona, so she's mostly, I can't say West Coast, but headed in that direction.
Right,
and then here I am in Ohio, and so everything that we did was like, oh, look at what she's doing, I could do that. And so we would just kind of
little one-upsmanship.
Is it one-upsmanship, or is it using them as a ladder for the next step? Identifying those. So it's helping a friend take a step up the ladder or something.
Right. Yeah. What's the old thing? The only time you look down on someone's when you're pulling them up.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's honestly, even though it's friendly competition, it's really helping. Oh, stop! It's really helping everybody.
I'm in the front seat. I'm just saying. Right. I'm trying really hard not to.
There are no motion discomfort receptacles in the car.
Right. I want to say, what did that cat look like right before you hit it?
Yeah, it's raising the level for everybody, which is really good.
Great. And Holly, the stuff that she does is so outside of my wheelhouse, and it's like, oh God, look at this. I mean, and so you can take each one of these girls and you can go, look at what they're doing, and look at how amazing that piece is. I mean, watching Kerrie Ann get her wings, watching her grow with goal, and it's like, oh my, it's just so cool. It really is so cool.
It is good stuff.
Oh my God, wait.
Yeah, and so tell Renee that we miss her, because my phone's never coming back. I don't know where it just went, but
We'll get it. It's in the middle. It happens.
I can see.
Yeah. So one of the people we are missing on this trip is Renee Gagnon.
Yes.
yeah,
Because she's got like a job.
right.
I know. It works for losers. Come on, man.
We made her the
Survivor.
designated survivor, because that way the whole the
Right.
east.
If something happens and I get us into an accident, we all die.
Renee's gonna hold the fort.
Renee's gonna have to hold
for
the fort
the whole
right.
northeastern Ohio or northeastern United States, she's got to have it covered all. She's
right,
gonna
She's gonna have to cover that. Right.
She's
All New England, that's all.
all
That's
doing
all.
good. Oh,
That's awesome.
sorry, Renee. We're sorry that we had to tag you that way, but yeah,
Right.
we called it really early on in the trip while we were scared
Yes,
before our nerve endings have settled
we
into.
were sitting in traffic. Mostly.
Mostly.
Oh,
Right.
man.
This is pretty cool. It's a great opportunity. One, to see Boston, and two, to hang out with friends.
It's,
Yep. I love it.
These things, to me, people, I hear people say, oh, you go to the NRA, and you go to Gun Rights Policy Conference, it's like a big family reunion, and you don't really get that until you go the second time. Right?
Right.
Because the first time you're like,
Okay.
oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. Oh my God, look who's here. This person's here. This person's there. Oh my God, I can't believe I got to talk to Masada you. I can't believe I got to talk to fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And then, you follow each other on social media, you switch numbers, maybe a couple emails and messages throughout the year. And then you get together and you're like, oh,
And then they're glad to see you, right?
Right.
The first time they're like, "Who are you?"
right. This is one of the ridiculous things for me. I used to be such a little like, oh my God, I got to get a selfie with these people. And now you're like, hey man, what's going on? Like, we don't have to have a selfie, but it might be nice.
And Cheryl's the queen of selfies,
Oh my gosh,
but
she
I
totally
get
is.
home from an event now, and I was like, I was so busy talking to everybody
Yeah.
that I
Then
didn't
you
get any
forget to
pictures.
take pictures.
Yeah. Sometimes it's tough.
That's
Right.
always me. Everything
I
go
never
to.
take pictures.
Yeah, it's like you got to remember to do that,
Yeah.
so
Right.
that you can at least document some of it. And part of it is you get to a certain level where those pictures help their brand as much as it helps your brand.
Oh, sure.
And so
Oh,
you're trying to be
Yeah.
responsible and
That's another thing. That's like a separate impressive thing. I think right like that upside down.
Right. Trying to be responsible.
right. And I was trying to figure out what are we writing upside down?
Oh no, we're talking about
The graffiti
Oh.
is all the way on the top of the building.
The tags
Oh.
up there.
Wow.
Got it.
I just happened to look up. I'm like, how the heck?
How the heck did
And
they
the
get it?
highway overpasses when they're in there,
Yeah.
they're
Right.
like this big.
Yeah, hanging over the edge.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
I mean, not literally over an overpass, but for
No.
the rest of our life.
No.
I miss your brother. I miss
You guys
Rob.
make so much
Rob's
fun
a
of
man.
him, yet at the same time, that's the funny part is he is so go along to get along. He's so not me, right?
There's so many times he's like, look, I'm here because Amanda's here, and if she wasn't here, I'd just be at home working.
Right?
Like the radio show, going to these events,
He's just
having a
there.
TV show. He's like, yeah,
He
whatever.
told somebody the one time that I am the pebble under a tire to keep her from rolling backwards. And I was like, okay.
That kind of works.
there you go. So we'll do something, and pretty soon he's like, what are we going to do next, Brain? But
Right.
like,
So you got a new gig with the NRA too, right?
yeah,
Crystal Drive?
that's the other one. And so I'm headed to Dallas in another week, I guess.
I'm home long enough to do laundry.
No, I get to be home for a weekend, and
Check it out.
then I'm headed to
Very
Dallas.
important.
So I have
Stop
to.
HD 4420. It's about the gun bill.
So when I go home, I actually
Redefining
have to
the
do
whole gun
the
law.
bill
Yeah.
or the show,
So check
and
it
then I
out.
have to do in a whole nother show, put it in the can.
No.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
How do you not know about it? How do you not know about it?
It's amazing People have no
So
idea.
was he interested then, Kerrie Ann?
He's like, he didn't know about it.
He had no
He's like,
idea.
what is this?
Yeah. And then he's like, so you want them to modify it?
No.
Or whatever he said.
And he looked at all our shirts.
Yeah.
He's gonna go Google now and learn
Chances are
so
good
much.
if he's a fireman, he's really good
I
at
can't
making
believe
chili.
he didn't know about it. So crazy.
No, I think because the regular news doesn't tell anybody about
No.
it.
Right?
Not unless it's their agenda.
Right. So they're
they
just
don't hear
not
about
covering it. So most people don't know any of that stuff. Yeah.
Well, shame on him for still watching regular news.
There you go.
Now this makes me want to just throw this sticker everywhere.
Right?
Hey, throw it. Oh, some more hot hats. Hot hats.
Some hot hats.
Take the stickers off and just like fling them out the window and hope they stick.
No, I'm not. I'll get in trouble. I'll get in trouble
That's
for
littering.
littering.
Right, yeah. No, you take the stickers off and throw them in the hole until they stick to them.
You can pull it and shoot them.
Like a Chinese throwing star.
Correct.
You don't have to throw them at just the poles. You can throw them at the checks too.
Oh, but on bum.
I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your bartenders and waitresses.
People be sticking them to the carpet.
Right.
All those old jokes that never made sense to me.
See, everybody's carrying their sub sandwich like it's a sandwich, except for one guy who's carrying it like it's either a baby or roses. Sure. I was like, what has he got? And it's like, oh, it's a sandwich. Like
He
the
could
others.
be really hungry.
I don't know, but he's
for
protecting
Christ's sake.
his. Maybe he's carrying it like a football. Maybe he's
You know-
like that.
Right, he's a former football player. You know, if he had one of the satchels that your brother has at the Conceal and Carry fashion shows, right? Because Rob is very lunch oriented.
Yeah.
And
So, Mike Harris, have you ever seen one of the fashion shows?
I've been to the goal one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in the ones that we do, I put my brother in it, and so and he's big and that was interesting.
smooth, right?
He's big and burly and
Has a big
bearded,
beard.
I know Rob, yeah.
and so
Big, burly, and
I
bearded.
have him carrying a man purse satchel,
Subvert your expectations. I like it.
and so when he does it, the first thing he pulls out is a sandwich.
All right, what else do we got?
I'm just
Paul Revere statue. That's the only thing we didn't do, I think.
Oh, we got to get the Paul Revere statue. All right, well, while we're in the shade, let's wrap things up, and then we'll go to the Paul Revere statue.
okay. There you go.
All right, so if you are not a member of the Gun Owners Action League, you need to join. If you want to get the DC Project emails, it is dcproject.info.
And it's goal.org.
Goal.org, dcproject.info. What else do we have?
Armed Women of America, I believe, .org as well.
ArmedWomenOfAmerica.org.
Women of America.
And there's Armed Women of America shooting chapters all over the place. So
All
if
over the
you're
place.
seeing
Really
this and you're not in Mass, there's plenty out there.
There are
And if
all...
you are an instructor and want to start a chapter, let us know.
There you go.
Join CCDL.
Oh yeah,
CCDL. Membership, ccdl.us. You can join as a free member, get our alerts, and find out what's going on in these deep blue states.
All right,
ccdl.org.
ccdl.us.
us.
All right, if you are not a member of the Second Amendment Foundation, you can get a lifetime membership at saf.org. There is a special link for that below. You can check out all of your favorite pro-freedom podcasts at sdrn.us. That's the Self-Defense Radio Network. If you've made it this far, you need to be sharing the show with your people, because this is how we get the stagecoach across America. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys all for being on the show.
Join the NRA.
Join the NRA
Join
as
the
well,
NRA.
NRA.org.
NRA's everything. So just NRA. Just search
You'll
it.
find
You'll
it.
find it. You can't miss it. It's the elephant in the room. It really is.
It really is.
And the one that's taking all the live.
All the heat.
They're taking the shots so the other smaller organizations can
Get
be
the work done.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
All right, I
we
think-
should be saying that out loud, but yes.
Oh,
No, they are. They are. But we'll support them that way.
rock on. Thank you guys all for being on. This is great. I love that I can have a family reunion here in my own state and I don't have to hop on a plane or
There you go.
drive 1,000 miles. Not that I
So
wouldn't do that.
Charlie likes it when you like his videos, when you comment on his videos, when you share his videos. So do that.
Yes.
There you go.